What's up, guys? Welcome to the live stream. Today, we're going to talk about the GT350 and the GT500. Of course, I'm going to say what's up to everybody in the chat first. What's up, Josh, Marco, Pro Charge Beast, a buddy of mine. We're going to be meeting up in Florida in a couple of weeks. World Elite, Hamp, Michael Corleone, Josiah. What is up, buddy? Welcome to the live stream, guys. We're going to talk about this because there's a lot going on with this, more than meets the eye. And I've been wanting to do this video for a while, quite some time, to be honest. So let's dive right into it. Okay, so there is more to a car and which is better than just power. A lot of people have asked me, why haven't you done this video yet? Why haven't you talked about it? Like, people just asked me, like, why have you not done this? So today is the day. Let's talk about GT500 versus GT350. I guess you could say the GT350 or the GT350R, because really the only real difference, of course, is some carbon fiber stuff, but you're going to spend like $15,000 more. I had a chance to get a GT350R, but it was like $78,000. I paid $64,000 for my GT350. So why would I waste $18,000 or $14,000 for wheels? I don't care about the wheels. If I had a GT350R, I wouldn't even be driving on the wheels anyway. So it was a waste of money, but great car nonetheless. In any case, let's get right down to it. Now, I don't want to go out and say that one car is better than the other, but since that's what the video is about, I'm going to tell you guys exactly where these cars fall and where they line up, because I was able to drive a GT500 recently for only a very short time, like about 3 weeks ago. And I cannot just stress enough how great of a car it is. However, it feels like I'm in a Hellcat to a degree. A GT350, on the other hand, feels like I am in a very low-riding Ferrari or something, because the way the seats are and how light the car is. And believe me, you can feel the weight difference from the GT350 to the GT500. It is extremely noticeable. In fact, when I get in my father's Charger, it feels like a boat. You guys really have to open your mind and understand how light a GT350 is and how much lighter a GT350R is. We're talking like 500-600 plus pounds of difference. That is a lot of weight. GT500 is Hellcat territory for weight. It's 4,230 pounds. And my Hellcat Red Eye was 44. It was only 170, or it is only 170 pounds lighter than my Challenger Red Eye. I mean, I'm not going off of speculation. I'm going off of facts. I weighed my Hellcat Red Eye at 4,430 pounds, and then I did some more weight reduction to it. It was just barely over 44. And a GT500, it's 42 plus. It's less than 200 pounds difference. They are fat boats. A GT350 is light as hell. It's like 3,600 and change. My GT350 is not even an R, and I have the heavy-ass aluminum wheels, and my GT350 on a scale was 3,690 with a half a tank of gas. That is almost 600 pounds lighter than a GT500. So I appreciate that, Drew. Thank you so much. And see, Pro Charge Beast is in the chat. I'm meeting up with him. He's friends with Mustang Lifestyle. If you guys don't know Mustang Lifestyle, go down and subscribe to his channel on YouTube after this video. Pro Charge Beast has 1,000 horsepower Pro Charge GT350. I'm building mine to be just like his. He's driven both of these cars just like I have, and he agrees with me. The GT500 is great, but it feels like a Hellcat to a degree. The GT350 is on a whole nother level. This is a driver's car. So, I appreciate that, Josh. So here's where it comes down to. Let's go ahead and talk about specs. We've already talked about weight. GT350 is going to weigh about 500 to 600 pounds less. That's just pretty much how it is. And that's a lot of weight. It's a lot. I'm just checking over here to make sure that my volume isn't too loud on the music. Is everything okay in the music? I just want to be sure. In any case, so we're talking like 500-600 pounds difference. That makes a lot. In a quarter mile, that's over half a second difference. When you go on to the next topic, horsepower and torque, yeah, GT500 has about 700 wheel, 680 to 700 wheel. GT350 makes about 450, 460 wheel. So essentially, when you look at both cars side by side, there's definitely a deficit in torque and horsepower. But let's talk about how little it matters, because the GT500 has a arguably not so good weight distribution. Remember, you got that heavy supercharger up front, got that root style blower, and they weigh like 100, 150 pounds of dead aluminum and steel. That's a lot of weight, plus the fluids, plus the cooler. It's a lot more nose heavy. The GT350 has got a much, much, much better weight distribution. Like, and I stress this. If you were not on a drag strip and you were on a road course, if you've ever been to a road course, which I've spent a lot of time at a road course with many different cars, and I can tell you, you're going to spend about 30 minutes racing and about 5 hours doing mathematical and geometry equations. Downforce, spring height, spring downforce, rebound, dampener adjustments, sway bars, strut brace, end links, bump steer, tires, camber, caster, toe in, toe out, thrust angle. The list goes on and on. And the GT350 outperforms the GT500 on a road course. It only loses because of power. That's it. And it doesn't even really lose. For example, at the Laguna Seca, the GT500 posted a 1.01 maximum lateral G. The GT350, not the GT350R, the GT350 posted a 1.04. Therefore, the lateral G's and skid pad was better performance on the GT350. GT350R is going to be even better than that. So the GT500 can't even beat the lesser powered GT350, which is also $35,000 less in money or cost on the skid pad. Well, that's all well and good. Let me go ahead and look at the direct specs right now, which I will prove to you. Just give me a second. We are looking at the 2020 GT500. It has a 24.1 second figure eight, 24.1. GT350, not the R, has a 23.6, which means the GT350 handles better. The weight distribution's better. It has better grip. It's better balanced. Those are just facts. They can't be argued because it's on paper and it's been tested. So we know that the GT350 is the better driver's car. We already know this. It's on paper. The question is, how much does it really matter when you're doing full-fledged laps, not just chassis testing and chassis tweaks and handling and figure eights and braking and all that kind of stuff? What does it really matter on Laguna Seca as an actual lap time? Well, the GT500 posted a lap time of 134. Basically 134. It says 133.84. I don't care about that 0.84. I mean, I know it matters. It's a race, but we're talking 16 tenths of a second, or 1/10 of a second, excuse me, from 134. A minute and 34 seconds. The GT350 has 230 plus odd. What is the exact calculation here? We're talking like 244 horsepower less. It posted a 136. We're only talking 2 seconds difference. If the GT350 would have 760 horsepower in its manual transmission with its lateral G performance and its suspension and its weight distribution and its overall weight, it would be faster than a GT500. And I'm not talking about more power. I'm saying you put both cars on a dyno with the exact same power, the GT350 will outrun a GT500 on a road course. It's mathematically like a fact. That's what it is. I mean, it's on paper. And how, I don't know the exact lap times of a GT350 with a Pro Charger. I'm sure they're out there, but I guarantee you they're a lot faster on Laguna Seca than a minute and 34 seconds. I'll guarantee that. I'll bet on it. I will bet anything that they're faster than a minute and 34 with a great driver like Randy Pobst. In any case, we know that the GT350 has got a better chassis. It handles better grip, and it, equally powered, is faster on a road course. So what is faster on a drag strip? Well, obviously the 11 The 11.9, 12.1, 12 flat GT350 can't keep up with the 11.2, 11.1, 10.9, 11.30, depending on who's driving, GT500. However, if you pro charge a GT350 and make about 750 wheel on pump, they run low 10s. They are faster than a GT500. If we're talking stock for stock, obviously not, but you're also comparing a $90,000 car to a $60,000 car. So if you're looking to have a Mustang and you're looking to go really fast for the least amount of money, but you have to have a Shelby and not a 5.0, because obviously a 5.0 with a 10-speed auto is going to shit all over both cars, GT500 or GT350, because you can get them for 25 grand. You could put 15,000 in it and run 8s all day, and a GT500 ain't running 8s for anywhere near that price. So the king of the hill for Mustangs is a 10-speed GT, a 5.0. But if you want a Shelby, and it has to be a Shelby, and it has to be a GT350 or a GT500, and cost has a lot to do with it, you can go faster, cheaper in a GT350. That's just facts. Like, that's just how it is. It doesn't mean it's a better car. It just means that on paper, if it had the same power, it would outperform the GT500 in pretty much every category. Now, with the GT500 versus the GT350 argument, you can modify the GT500. The fastest GT500 right now is 9.2. 9.2 right now. And I know that for a fact because it involves Rob Shoemaker and Palm Beach Dyno, who have tuned my car as well. The record for a GT350 right now is 8.8 or 8.9. So the GT350 still holds a modified record over the GT500. So in any case, I cannot believe Josh would come in here and talk about MotorTube. You're in timeout for that. Sorry. I can't stand that kid, MotorTube. The guy is a dumbass. In any case, what I am really getting at right now is GT350 versus McLaren would be great. ZR1, the Demon. Yeah, that'd be great to verse them all. I'll put them head to head just for the hell of it. In any case, welcome, Amanda, to the channel. Ryan, what's going on, buddy? Hellcat Gamer, what's up, bro? Jesus, Dick. Anybody else I forgot? The GT350 is... I'm not saying it's a better car, because realistically, somebody is going to pop up and say, well, you're going to add weight by putting a supercharger on your GT350. Well, you will. But here's the problem. A root-style blower or a twin screw or a Whipple or the IHI European supercharger on the Hellcats, they weigh about 150, 180 pounds. A unit from ProCharger, an actual centrifugal supercharger from ProCharger, weighs about 50 pounds. The added piping and the fluid and the pulley is only really adding about a total combined weight of maybe 70-something pounds. Granted, that's all going in the nose of the GT350. However, I have a lightweight battery that only weighs 5 pounds, so I just chopped out 20-something pounds of dead weight there. Not to mention the front sway bar, you can get a tubular front mount and sway bar to compensate for the weight. But after you remove the battery like I have, we're only talking 50 pounds. If you really want to get that weight down, take out your washer reservoir. There's another 15 pounds of dead weight gone. You can counteract the weight. You can't do it on a GT500 because how the hell do you counteract 200 pounds of weight in the front? You can't get 200 pounds out of the front of the car, but you can get 50 pounds out. Meaning we can take a GT350, put a ProCharger on it, do a lightweight battery, remove the windshield washer reservoir, and we can get a tubular K-member and or front strut or sway bar, and you're going to have a car that weighs the same as stock that makes 800 wheel on E85. A GT500 can't compete with that stock. Stock versus that setup, the GT500 can't win. And the thing is, you can do all of that for $7,500 plus a tune. So about $8,000 plus the battery, you're at about $8,500, maybe $9 grand. So with a brand new GT350 like I bought for $64,000, you're no further into this car than 72 grand, and you're faster than a $90,000 car. So that's why I say this is kind of a gray area. They're both great cars. Stock for stock, GT500's faster only because it makes more power. GT350 feels better as a driver's car, is naturally aspirated, flat plane crank, sounds better arguably. Overall feels like a better car in my opinion, but they're both great. If you put a Pro Charger on the GT350, it's going to smoke the GT500 in a drag strip or a track. Facts. If you mod the GT500, you would just continue to mod the GT350. You'd have a driver's race. The problem here is the GT350 is cheaper and has a better chassis and better weight distribution. That's the whole problem. Well, the GT500 that went 8.9, that's pretty sick, if you ask me. I love that car. But you got to keep in mind how much money that cost. Ported supercharger, ported throttle body, big injectors, intake, probably catless, small pulley, return fuel system management, booster pump, fuel pumps, tune, $90,000 car, rear tire and brake conversion, skinnies. That car is probably 130,000 deep, 120 something thousand deep. Not taking anything away from it, but you can have a GT350 in the mid to high nines for about 75,000 all in. So it really comes down to what you want to spend. Which is better? I don't know. You have to make up your own mind. But if you're asking me which is better value for dollar, the GT350 is the better car. And that's pretty much how I feel. I mean, I based my opinion on facts, scientific facts, mathematical calculations, specs, pretty much everything is facts. And then, of course, my input of owning one and driving another. They're both equal cars, in my opinion. But if you want to go fast for cheap, GT350 is the better choice. Thank you so much to everybody who stopped in. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Tap the bell. Check me out, Joseph Corey. Real Joseph Corey on YouTube. Joseph Corey on Twitch for the live game streams coming up in about 20 minutes. And if you are inclined to, you guys can join the memberships on either channel to support the channels and the content going forward. Thank you so much for stopping in. Did I search Neo Auto? I will definitely do that. And appreciate that, Xander. We'll catch up with you here in just a few minutes. I'll send you a message. Thanks so much, guys, for stopping in. You guys are the best. Take care of yourselves out there in these strange times. Share this video with everybody. And as soon as it posts to YouTube, come back in here and post some content or some comments and chat. As soon as this video goes to YouTube this afternoon, this evening, get right in there and post some comments and chat with me and share it with everybody. We'll catch you guys in the next live stream. Take care, everybody in here. Peace out, Doug. Peace out, Rich GT350R. Thanks so much for stopping in. I didn't call your name out yet because I didn't see you commenting, but I appreciate you stopping in. And that's a sick GT350R edition you got in there in your thumbnail. But definitely subscribe if you haven't. If you already have, chat with me on the video once it posts. See you, Junior. Peace out, guys. We'll see you soon on the next video. Peace again.